Hey guys, Tapu VGC, and I'm starting a new series. The goal of the series essentially is to talk about the usage stats on Pokemon Showdown for the top 60 Pokemon used in numbers of battles. Tell you everything you need to know about them through this PowerPoint presentation. That culminates month by month, leading up to the World Championship this August. The goal is I want to be able to kind of show it off in a snazzy way with my voice to make it seem interesting. I'll be covering number 1 through 10 this time. There's 60 as you can see, so 1 through 10 in this video, and then we'll do the second 10, third 10, all the way to 60, and that'll be it for December. Alright, so we're going to talk about number 1, Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele appeared in 872,903 battles. For its abilities, since the Psychic Search is the only ability it has, it also has extra telepathy, but that wasn't really available for Tapu Lele as of now. As of December, so it's not here. All Tapu Lele is running Psychic Search because that's the only option. EV spreads, it seems to be, for the EV spreads that are actually listed, it seems to either be a very offensive spread that uses max special attack, max speed, in order to get a ton of damage off with either timid or modest, or a max HP, max special attack stat. EV spread with either modest or timid, and every other Tapu Lele is running their own special spread. But this only accounts for about half of Tapu Lele. So half of Tapu Lele run a 4-2-2 spread like this, or a variant other spread that's not listed. For the item, you can see a quarter of all Tapu Lele roughly run the Psychic MZ crystal. For its mainly Psychic to get Psychic Surge off, which does a lot of damage. See Choice Scarf, Life Orb, Choice Specs, all creeping in the numbers 2 to 4 spots. Entry items like the Psychic Seed, Citrus Berry Leftovers, Assaultist, Ferium Z, Focus Edge, Tapu Neum Z for its Nature's Madness attack. The Terrain Extender, which extends its terrain duration from 5 to 8 turns. The Kibia Berry, which I believe reduces super effective damage from dark type attacks, and 4% of Tapu Lele run other items. For their moves, you can see Psychic, which is on 93% of Tapu Lele. So 93% take advantage of that strong Psychic type attack. Moonblast, Protect, and Dazzling Gleam are also up there with 71, 59, and 51% usage respectively. Now you go into coverage attack, which is Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, and Energy Ball with 38, 19, and 15% respectively. Taunt, which is at 9%, Psyshock is at 6, which is the very another Psychic attack, as it works off Tapu Lele's special attacks that allowing it to hit via its special, then to hit the part of it on the defense stat. Calm Mind for boosting makes Tapu Lele a threat. Focus Blast is interesting. Substitute, which we saw Aaron Zhang used on his San Jose team, which I would assume that when this happens for January, when we come back, we revisit Tapu Lele. It will. You can see Substitute having a lot more usage. Nature's Madness, which is also up there at 3%, which works off its Tapu Neum Z, which is at 0.579% usage, and other. And 16% run something other. Run another item or no item at all. And interesting, between December and November, Tapu Lele went up 2 spots in usage. So it was at number 3, and I was at number 1 as the most used Pokemon on Pokemon Showdown. You can get number 2, which is Tapu Koko, which appeared in 1,138,317 battles. Ability is Electric Surge, which is at 100%. EV spreads are very simple, as it's either Timid, which is 0%. Which is at 0%, which uses a max speed spread, max attack, max speed with earth and special defense at 30%. Timid, which a timid spread that uses max HP, uses max special attack, max speed with 4 and timid, or you change up the nature to a modest one with 5%. Another Tapu Lele run that same. Tapu Koko run that same spread, but only difference is that the modest isn't. The 4 is in special defense. Timid, which is very similar, and Jolly, which is the max attack spread. Then got his items. You can see Life Orb, which is at 46.7 46% usage, Focus Sash at 16, Choice Base at 7, and then interesting items like the Electrium V, Air Balloon, Tapu V. Within the next 3 slots, Assault Vest, which is getting popular market standard uses at the London International, and it might pick up more usage as more people kind of get an idea how to use that set. The Electric Seed, which powers up Electric Seed, which gives it a increase in special attack, I believe, under the electric terrain. Citrus Berry, Ferium V, Choice Scarf, Leftover, Choice Band, Expert Belt, 0.884% of Tapu Koko on Pokemon Showdown in December. Didn't run an item, which is interesting. You can't get knocked off, which is kind of fun. That play, then the rest of them just run something else that's not even listed up here, but probably not a good item since it hasn't really been found out yet. Maybe, but who knows. Dazzling Gleam, Protect, Thunderbolt, and Discharge are the 4 most used, which is a pretty standard set for most Tapu Koko. Because you have a lot of strong stats. Volt Switch, Thunder, Wild Charge are the next 3 electric type of coverage moves, which are the last ones up here, I believe. The Ice type in Power allows you to hit Garchomp, Brave Bird, Taunt, Grass Knot, Nature's Madness, U-Turn, Sky Drop, and the Ground type in Power, which allows you to hit Marowak and other Tapu Koko for super effective damage is up here as well. And the rest of them don't even run an item. Don't run some other move. So you're gonna see, I wonder if, and Tapu Koko also went up 2 spots in usage. So it was at number 4, and now it's at number 2. Next up is Arcanine, which Arcanine got really popular after London because of how well it did appearing on the winning teams there, which appeared in 921,182 battles. You'll notice that the numbers are different. It's mostly just totally out of every single battle that took place in VGC 17 on the ranked ladder. So essentially, higher players have more influence than lower ranked players on usage, which will reflect that more generally. For the abilities, Arcanine access to multiple abilities. Intimidate is the most common one, which Flash Fire and Justified also up there. Justified allows you to get an attack boost if hit by Dark type attack, which can allow beat up combinations, and Flare Blitz allows Arcanine to get an increase in the fire type attacks when hit by fire type attacks. Now, Arcanine is interesting as spreads that just run 252, 2v2 4 spread, like the Calm 1 and the Calm 1, which at 3.733%, Jolly at 2.644, and Adamant at 2.352 are up there, but aren't really as common as most Arcanine are running their own spread, but the ones that appear regularly are the max HP, 4 attack, 60 defense, 28 special defense, and 164 speed, which was, I believe, used by Sekiam to win London. So people kind of picked up on that one, said, I like that, and I'll try it out, and I'll try and get out, and it's getting usage. CA, which is kind of the most common one, because if a spread does really well and people pick up on it, it gets more usage. The item Citrus Berry is the most common one at 41%. Fire MV at 13%, Leftover at 8%. Rocky Helmet at 6%. Life Orb, Assault Vest, Choice Band. Life Orb at 5%. Assault Vest, Choice Band, and Safety Goggles at 3%. The Air Balloon and a Guelph Berry are at 1%. Lumberry at 0.907%. Charcoal at 0.851%. Figgy Bear, which is the exact same thing that the Guava Berry in terms of application, same with the Wiki and IOP Berry do that. And interesting enough, a no item Arcanine is at 0.663%, which is more common than a Focus Sash, IOP Berry, and Eject Button. I wrote that wrong. Sorry about that, but the Eject Button are more common, are less common than Arcanine that don't run an item at all, and the rest of them run something else. Rule set, you can see Protect, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp, and Flare Blitz as a really common set, which was also used by Sekiano in London, so that's kind of where they picked up usage. Extreme Speed, Flamethrower, and Burn Up are the next three, with Wall Charge, Morning Sun, Close Combat, Roar, Heatwave, Crunch, which is Marowak, and Helping Hand, rounding out the rest of them, and just other. I'm interested to see how that works. You can get number 4, you can see Celesteela, which appeared in 101,121,764 battles. Its only available ability is Beast Boost. Nothing hidden, just its only available ability, so that's the one that gets used. The EV spreads, which are very common. Honestly, you kind of look at it, a lot of these EV spreads are going to be based off of information from the website Trainer Tower, as they did a very helpful article for beginners to kind of look at EV spreads, get a feel for what they do, and maybe change them up depending on what you want to do. I'll leave that in the description below as well as some other helpful information. And EV spreads wise, you can see a lot of spreads. The most common ones that are used throughout what most people see is this one, which is max HP 4 attack, 92 special defense, 116 special defense. 92 defense, 116 special defense, and 44 speed. Which is at 5.971%, and various other spreads which make up the rest. Kind of see it because Cell still has very rounded stats, very decent stats all around. Nothing too terrible. It makes it where you can run it with a special. You can run a special attacking set or a physical attacking set or a stall set, which is really common. As the item leftover, Citrus Berry, Assault Vest, Rocky Helmet, and again, a lot of Celesteela don't run items. You see it more. You see a Celesteela without an item more than you'll see one that holds a Life Orb, the Steel type V Crystal, Big Root, Wakan Berry, Lumberry, Weakness Policy, Figgy, Aka Berries, and a Grassy Seed, which is interesting. As I'm not sure why that's happening, but I assume that's more of a lower. Then that's happening more on the lower ladder. And you can see the most common Celesteelas are mostly these bulky, let's stall everything else sets with Leash Shade, Protect, Heavy Slam, and Substitute for most common attacks. Flamethrower is at number 5, which is really nice in the Celesteela mirrors. You can see Flash Cannon, Air Slash, Wide Guard, Earthquake, Giga Drain, Toxic, Rock Slide, Energy Ball, Fire Blast, Acrobatics, which I assume Acrobatics is playing why 1.258% of Celesteela run no item, because you can get the boost in that item and other. And between November and December, Celesteela dropped 3 spots in usage. So that number 1 is now at number 4. So more people are realizing how to handle Celesteela. Next up is number 5, which is Garchomp. Garchomp appeared in 1,108,185 battles. I did a guide on it, which I'll link the playlist in the description below if you want to check it out. You can see the abilities, which is Rough Skin and Sand Veil, are most common ones. Sand Veil is really nice because it partners with Gaylift. You can see very common spreads. Which are mostly the 2 most common ones are literally max attack, max speed, which is a little bit more. And you put either that 4 in HP or you put in a special defense. You can also see the next spread, which is the one used by Sekiam to win London. And then various other spreads, like the next 2, which are literally the exact same ones as the first 2, but the nature is just adamant, and then the rest of them. And then 2.6% run a Garchomp with a max HP and adamant, which is interesting. You can see the item, which is Assault Vest, which picked up a lot of popularity as we saw Chup Across win a Premier Challenge in the Brooklyn area, and it winning London, which kind of spiked Garchomp usage with that item. 15% run the Ground DMZ, 11% run Choice Scarf, 8% run Rocky Helmet with a little more less running focus session. Life Orb is 6.9%, Lumberry is 3.8%, Gotcha Bear is 3.1%, Trick Band at 2.7%, Draconium V at 2.4%, Citrus Berry at 1.01%, Poisonium Z, which is both Garchomp are running Poison Jab now, as you see over there. It's picked up usage, so you run it to pick up KOs up a lot of its Tapus. Leftovers at 0.6, and others do something else. can see a lot of moves with Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, and Protect. That's the 5 most common, which are the five most I would expect to see on a Garchomp. Protect, Fire Fang, Iron Head, Swords Dance, Outrage, Crunch, and Stone Edge are the other moves that you commonly see, which do their own thing, and the rest just run something else. Maybe like a substitute or something else like I said in my guide. Who knows? Who knows? And between November, December, Garchomp moved 0 spots, and it dropped 0 spots, so it stayed exactly at number 5. We'll see where that changes in January when we can use it again. At number 6 is Alolan Marowak, which appeared in 1,008,185 battles. Abilities are Lightning Rod at 90%, Rock Head at 5%, and Curse Body at 3%. EV spreads are EV spreads are pretty simple. It's either it's either maxing out 2 stats and putting the rest in 1 stat, as we see with the first Adamant set, the first Brave set, and the third, the one right under the complicated spread, which is the max HP, 180 attack, 40 defense, 60 special defense, 4 in speed. So I'll see a max spread right under that, a max spread right under that, and basically a max spread right under that, with the rest running something else that suits their need. Items use the Thick Club, which is the most common one, Life Orb right behind it with the Rare Bone, which doesn't do anything, so I'm not sure why it's really happening. Maybe someone can explain that, but I'm not sure. See Citrus Berry, Assault Vest, Focus Sash, the Fire type the Crystal, Leftovers, and something else kind of rounding it out. And for moves, you see the 4 most common ones are Shadow Bone, Flare Blitz, Protect, and Boomerang. With Earthquake, Will-O-Wisp, Rock Slide, Flame Charge, Parasong, and something else. Maybe rounding out the last slots. Or others, you see something like, I know Nashikar ran a substitute Marowak in San Jose to finish second, which was really interesting, and it may pick up on usage. Who knows what to see. Number 7 is Porygon 2, which appeared in 585,454 battles. Also, I forgot to say, Marowak moved out 4 spots. It was at number 10, and now it's at number 6, excuse me. For you can say his ability, just download at 86%, trace at 11%, analytic at 2%. So your EV spreads with natures, you see the most common one for documented ones are Sassy. Our complicated spreads, as I'm saying, a Poke spread and you can see none of them are speed, which is interesting, as Porygon 2 is a really solid Pokemon when it's not running, because it's a very slow Pokemon that runs Trick Room, so you don't really need speed. As none of them even run speed boosting natures. I will assume that maybe someone's doing it for the mirror, but I'm not really sure. You kind of have to look that up and get more information. For items, Eviolite is the most common one at 97% usage, and other people are running others. Eviolite the best one because Porygon 2 still has the potential to evolve, meaning that it can use the Eviolite to get the defense boost and be one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the format, if not the bulkiest. See, modes Porygon 2 is a really interesting Pokemon, as Recover, Ice Ring, Trick Room, and Tri Attack are the most common ones, with Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Toxic, and Protect being the other 4, but those are honestly the first 7 really, like, all the way from Recover to Toxic is mostly interchangeable depending on the team. Like, 1/3 of Porygon 2 are running Shadow Ball because it's good against Pokemon like Marowak. But then 42% are running Thunderbolt for water types and still, so it depends. And 70% are running Toxic, kind of stall out. Maybe hit like a Gastrodon or a Pokemon that's setting up like a Carmine Tapu Fini to kind of hit them hard. Or maybe an opposing Porygon 2 to stall them out and hopefully win the war. And the others, and everyone else is running something else. I'm not really sure what it is, maybe like a Hybrid Beam, who knows. And Porygon 2 moved up 1 spot. Next up is Kartana, who appeared in 468,012 battles, and its only ability is basically says it's used 100 times, 100%. And honestly, for the EV spreads, it really depends for these common ones. So mostly already Focus Sash, but the Assault Vest one is really good. This spread is like really good on Kartana because it does a good job of making a very frail Pokemon like Kartana very bulky, because Kartana looks very frail. It's very frail, so you give it up in its offense. It can take hits a lot better. Maybe you can invest in bulk. As like, I think as it picked up more mid-December, as we saw it picked up a lot of popularity in San Jose, and Ray Rizzo was using it on the channel to get success, and they made a guide. So I'd assume that come January, it's going to pick up a lot more usage. For the items, you have Focus Sash, which is at 40%, Assault Vest at 14, Life Orb at 11, Choice Scarf 9, Choice Band, Grass EMZ, Steel EMZ, Expert Belt, Dark EMZ, Lumberry, and Citrus Berry as the other one, and others are just miscellaneous. The Assault Vest spread is already at the second most common one. I assume it'll pick up more in January, and I can't wait to see how that looks. Those are pretty simple. It's honestly the first 5. Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Sacred Sword, Protect, and Light Slash are honestly the most common ones, except than Cycle Cut, which is kind of appeared because a lot of people are doing it, but they're not really that good. It's mostly dependent on the first 5. If you're running the Assault Vest spread, then Dump, Protect, you Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Sacred Sword, and Night Slash are your most common ones. If you're running the Focus Sash, run Leaf Blade, Smart Strike, Protect, and then your choice of Sacred Sword or Night Slash, depending on what your team needs, and just kind of leave it at that. Others are just miscellaneous, maybe like a Sword Stance. So this Sword Kartana can use swords, and it moved up 4 spots, which is really interesting. And it did have much usage in November, but doing well in tournaments, like in Dallas, San Jose, and London will really pick up Kartana usage. Number 9 is Tapu Bulu, which appeared in 784,703 battles. The ability is Grassy Surge with the EV spreads are mostly dependent on the Bulu, as a lot of them are running bulky spreads. As you see, every single spread listed is very much bulky. Others are just mostly dependent on what the team needs. Or if you're running a spread that you kept secret, so it's not really picking up usage besides you and maybe some of your friends. The items is a lot of kind of overlap, depending on what the team needs. Grass EMZ, Leftovers, Lumberry, Miracle Seed, Life Orb, Choice Band, Assault Vest, Citrus Berries, Choice Scarf, Grassy Seed, Kebia Berry, Big Root, Metal Plate, Tapu EMZ, Terrain Extender, and Rock EMZ as the other items that you may see, and others are just miscellaneous. And for moves, it mostly depends. Horn Leech, Protect, Wood Hammer, Superpower, Leech Seed, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Substitute, Mega Horn, Zen Headbutt, Nature's Madness, Sword Dance, and Brick Break are the items that you mostly see, and others are just miscellaneous that may pick up usage, but I highly doubt it. For its grass type item tech, it's very split, as 77% are using Horn Leech, while 73% are using Wood Hammer. So it mostly depends on what your team needs. If you really want the Horn Leech, and for the recovery, you can go for the Horn Leech. If you want the Wood Hammer, you can go for the Wood Hammer. But if you're running Grass EMZ, just run. I would suggest running Wood Hammer. It helps. And the final Pokemon is number 10, which is Alolan Muk, which appeared in 546,213 battles. I got to mention, Tapu Bulu is still at number 9. It hasn't changed one bit, such as November and December. And Alolan Muk kept the biggest change while I'm on the topic. It moved up 14 spots. So I think people realized that Alolan Muk is really good, and it picked up a lot of usage. The abilities is Poison Touch, Gluttony, and Power of Alchemy, which are honestly all really solid abilities, so it mostly depends. EV spreads are mostly depend on the team, as a lot of them are very much bulky. And it mostly depends, and 60% run to something else. For the items, you see Figgy Berry, Black Sludge, Assault Vest, Citrus Berry, a Guava Berry, Life Orb, Ayapa, Leftovers, Dark EMZ, Expert Belt, Poison EMZ, Air Balloon, Lumberry, Normally EMZ, and others. So Normally EMZ is for most stockpile since it has access. Or maybe you want to run Protect to go for the Protect, do whatever that does. The most common item is Figgy Berry, which partners really well with its Gluttony ability. So that was the access that really earlier than it really should have. If it's not running Gluttony, and you essentially have over 100% HP. It's really nice. Moves you can see the most common ones are Knockoff, Poison Chat, Protect, and Shadow Snake. with Gunk, Shot, Crunch, Minimize, Curse, Taunt, Rock Slide, Toxic, Brick Break, Stone Edge, and Explosion, Substitute, and various other moves. I also normally these for Explosion now that I look at it. So honestly, there's a lot of strong Pokemon here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Check back maybe like tomorrow or the day after. I'm not sure. Like real soon for when I cover number 11 through 20. And I'll leave all the information in the description below. Check out all the links. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. I will see you guys next time when we cover number 11 through 20. And yeah, so bye.